From colonization to superpower, Africa's journey to the top. Imagine a continent brimming with untapped potential, a sleeping giant awakening to claim its rightful place on the world stage. This is Africa, a land scarred by the past but poised for a future of unprecedented growth and influence. Are you ready to witness the rise of a superpower? The echoes of the Scramble for Africa still reverberate across the continent. European powers carved up Africa, driven by insatiable greed for its vast resources, and this era left deep scars. The exploitation of Africa's resources enriched foreign powers while impoverishing local communities. Gold, diamonds, and other precious minerals were extracted with little regard for the well-being of the African people. This legacy continues to shape Africa's relationship with the world. Africa stands at a crossroads, grappling with the legacy of colonization while striving to realize its immense potential. The continent must confront its past, learn from its mistakes, and forge a new path towards a brighter future. The journey won't be easy, but the destination is worth fighting for. Continued exploitation persists, albeit in new forms. Global powers and multinational corporations continue to extract resources, often at the expense of local communities and the environment. This subtle form of colonialism hinders Africa's progress. China's role in Africa is complex. While investments in infrastructure are welcome, concerns remain about resource extraction and potential debt traps. Africa must engage with China strategically, ensuring mutual benefit. Western influence also remains significant. Aid and development programs often come with strings attached, perpetuating dependency and limiting Africa's autonomy. True partnership requires mutual respect and genuine commitment. Africa's potential is undeniable. A young and growing population, abundant natural resources, and diverse cultures offer a unique opportunity for growth and innovation. The continent is poised to become a major player. This video is based on the book From Colonization to Superpower, Africa's Journey to the Top. Author Angelo Quentin. Get more insight straight from the author's mind by reading the book. The path forward requires confronting the past, learning from mistakes, and embracing a future of self-reliance and sustainable development. The geopolitical landscape in Africa is complex, with various global players vying for influence. The continent has become a strategic battleground for resources and political power. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for navigating the challenges and opportunities. Competition for resources is fierce. Global powers recognize Africa's strategic importance and are eager to secure access to its vast reserves of minerals, oil, and other commodities. The US and Europe have long-standing economic interests in Africa. Their influence is exerted through trade agreements, development aid, and political alliances. However, these relationships are often characterized by unequal power dynamics. China's Belt and Road Initiative has significantly increased its presence in Africa. Massive infrastructure projects are transforming the continent, but concerns remain about debt sustainability and the potential for neocolonialism. Africa must proceed with caution. Concerns about China's activities in Africa are valid. Issues such as undermining governance, human rights, and environmental protection need to be addressed. Transparency and accountability are essential for ensuring that China's engagement benefits Africa. India's engagement in Africa focuses on technology, healthcare, and education. This approach offers a more sustainable and equitable model for development. India's expertise in these areas can contribute significantly to Africa's progress. Balancing competing demands is a key challenge for African nations. They must navigate complex relationships with global powers while prioritizing their own development agendas. This requires skillful diplomacy and a clear vision for the future. Navigating these complex relationships requires protecting sovereignty and agency. Africa must assert its right to make its own decisions and chart its own course. The continent must be a partner, not a pawn. The consequences of colonial rule on African societies are far-reaching, shaping the continent to this day. The imposition of foreign governance disrupted traditional social structures and undermined local institutions. The disruption of traditional societies had a devastating impact, colonial powers imposed their own systems of governance, often ignoring or suppressing existing social structures. This led to social fragmentation and a loss of cultural identity. Economic exploitation was a key feature of colonial rule. The extraction of wealth and the use of forced labor enriched foreign powers while impoverishing African communities. This legacy of economic exploitation continues to hinder Africa's development. The political sphere was also profoundly affected. Arbitrary borders were drawn, often dividing ethnic groups and creating the conditions for future conflict. Political instability remains a major challenge in many African countries. Despite the adversity, African societies demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination. They resisted colonial rule in various ways, preserving their cultures and fighting for their freedom. This spirit of resistance is a source of inspiration for future generations. Let's aim high. Help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers and followers. Comment, "I subscribe" or "followed," and we'll give a shout out to as many of you as possible. Resistance and independence movements played a crucial role in the transition from colonization to independence. These movements challenged colonial rule and paved the way for a new era of self-determination. The Mau Mau uprising in Kenya was a powerful example of resistance against British rule. This armed struggle demonstrated the determination of the Kenyan people to reclaim their land and their freedom. The Mau Mau uprising remains a symbol of African resistance. South Africa's struggle against apartheid was another defining moment in African history. The African National Congress, ANC, led by Nelson Mandela, fought tirelessly against racial segregation and oppression. These movements laid the foundation for sovereignty and self-determination. They asserted Africa's right to govern itself and to control its own destiny. Independence was a hard-won victory, but it marked the beginning of a new chapter in African history. The legacy of these movements continues to inspire movements for social justice and equality around the world. Their courage and determination serve as a reminder that change is possible. Post-independence, Africa faced a new set of challenges, including neocolonialism. This subtle form of dominance continues to exert influence through indirect means, hindering Africa's progress. Recognizing and addressing these challenges is crucial for achieving true independence. Neocolonialism manifests in various ways, including the manipulation of local governments. Foreign powers often support leaders who are favorable to their interests, undermining democratic processes and perpetuating corruption. This undermines Africa's ability to govern itself. The exploitation of natural resources continues to be a major problem. Foreign corporations and corrupt officials often collude to extract resources at the expense of local communities and the environment. This deprives Africa of its wealth and hinders sustainable development. The imposition of Western ideals can also undermine local cultures and traditions. Development programs often promote Western values and practices, ignoring the unique needs and aspirations of African societies. This can lead to cultural alienation and a loss of identity. Prioritizing self-reliance is essential for breaking free from neocolonialism. Economic diversification, investment in education, and the promotion of local industries are crucial steps towards building a more resilient and independent economy. Good governance is also essential. Transparency, accountability, and the rule of law are necessary for creating a stable and prosperous society. Corruption must be eradicated, and institutions must be strengthened to ensure that they serve the interests of the people. Reclaiming cultural heritage is an important part of building a strong national identity. Promoting African languages, arts, and traditions can foster pride and unity. Africa must celebrate its rich cultural heritage and use it as a foundation for future progress. Africa has a rich history, but its resources have been exploited for the economic gain of foreign powers. This has led to a cycle of dependency on foreign aid and investment. Breaking this cycle is essential for achieving economic independence and sustainable development. The impact on development has been devastating. Dependency on foreign aid often comes with strings attached, limiting Africa's autonomy and perpetuating a cycle of debt. Africa must find alternative sources of financing and invest in its own development. Globalization's role is complex. Multinational corporations often control key industries in Africa, extracting profits and limiting opportunities for local businesses. Africa must negotiate fairer trade agreements and promote local entrepreneurship. Breaking free from this cycle requires policies that promote self-sufficiency. Investing in education, infrastructure, and local industries is crucial for creating a more diversified and resilient economy. Africa must become a producer, not just a consumer. Empowering entrepreneurs is key to creating jobs and driving economic growth. Providing access to finance, training, and markets can help local businesses thrive. Africa must foster a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. Colonial rule caused profound social and cultural disruptions, shaping the continent's trajectory in profound ways. Understanding these disruptions is crucial for addressing the challenges of the present and building a more inclusive and equitable society. Internal challenges such as ethnic conflicts and political instability also contribute to social disruption. These conflicts often have roots in colonial-era divisions and power struggles. Building peace and stability requires addressing these underlying causes. Pan-Africanism has played a crucial role in shaping the continent's destiny. This movement, which advocates for African unity and solidarity, has been instrumental in decolonization and the fight against oppression. Understanding the role of Pan-Africanism is essential for charting a new course towards prosperity and self-determination. African unity is the core principle of Pan-Africanism. The movement seeks to unite all people of African descent, regardless of their location or nationality. This unity is seen as essential for achieving political and economic power. Empowerment and self-determination are key goals of Pan-Africanism. The movement seeks to empower Black diaspora and Africans to take control of their own destiny and to resist foreign interference. This requires building strong institutions and promoting self-reliance. Understanding the role of Pan-Africanism requires recognizing its historical significance. The movement has been a driving force for change in Africa, inspiring generations of activists and leaders. Its legacy continues to shape the continent's future. Charting a new course towards prosperity and self-determination requires embracing the principles of Pan-Africanism. By working together, Africans and Black diaspora can overcome the challenges of the past and build a brighter future for themselves and for generations to come. The leadership and ideologies of Pan-Africanism have played a crucial role in advancing the ideals of the movement. Figures like Kwame Nkrumah and Marcus Garvey have inspired generations of Africans to fight for unity, self-determination, and economic empowerment. Their vision continues to guide the way forward. Africa stands at the cusp of greatness, ready to unleash its potential and reshape the global landscape. Let's aim high. Help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers and followers. Comment, "I subscribe" or "followed," and we'll give a shout out to as many of you as possible. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay aware.